Continuing from the recent suspicions surrounding the RCMP and the questions raised about Lilly and Jack Sullivan's own family members, these two poor children are still missing without a trace. We urge everyone to dismiss the unfounded rumors circulating on social media and focus on verified information. The truth behind whether the RCMP has been limiting information about the search remains unclear. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this heartbreaking case. And if you happen to have any leads or credible information about Lilly and Jack, please report it to your nearest authorities immediately. Don't forget to subscribe to True Child Cases to stay updated with the latest developments in the search for these missing children. Daniel described the polygraph test in detail, explaining that he was seated comfortably in a large chair while sensors were attached to his body to monitor physiological responses. Although he felt extremely nervous, he underwent the test, which included questions such as, "Did you kill Lilly and Jack?" and others regarding his potential involvement in their deaths. He noted that no questions were asked about whether he had taken the children elsewhere or whether they could still be alive, which he found peculiar. After completing the test, he was told that he had passed with no signs of deception. Daniel also participated in a formal 4-hour interview with the RCMP. He was aware that the RCMP had conducted 53 interviews with family members and local residents, many of whom were his own relatives. Despite his awareness of the ongoing investigation, Daniel chose not to disclose the identities of others who had undergone polygraph tests, as he was concerned this could interfere with the investigation. Regarding the days leading up to the children's disappearance, he strongly denied rumors of a drug party at his house, emphasizing that no such gathering had occurred and suggesting that these rumors were intended to distract attention from the real perpetrators. He expressed frustration with online accusations implicating him in the disappearance, calling many of them baseless and driven by individuals seeking drama. As the investigation progressed, Daniel noticed a shift in the RCMP's attitude toward him. After passing the polygraph test, he observed that the suspicion surrounding him began to wane. He noted a significant reduction in communication from the RCMP, which had decreased from almost daily to once every 5 days. He interpreted this as a sign that the RCMP no longer viewed him as a primary suspect. While he acknowledged the positive aspect of this change, he also found it somewhat difficult, as he still wished to maintain contact with investigators to offer any additional details or insights that could aid the case. As the investigation continued to attract public attention, Daniel acknowledged the intense media scrutiny surrounding the case. He understood the public's desire for answers, given the mysterious and unusual nature of the disappearance. However, he expressed concern that revealing too much information could impede the investigation, saying, "I don't want to hinder the investigation in any way. This is still a missing persons investigation full of mystery." Despite the widespread public interest, Daniel noted that the case had not yet evolved into a criminal investigation, emphasizing that the RCMP was still focused on finding the children and uncovering the truth.
4 hours.
Regarding the current status of the investigation, Daniel stated that the RCMP had shared very little information with him. He explained that he only knew what the RCMP chose to disclose, and that he had no knowledge of the contents of the surveillance videos. He also observed that the RCMP had requested videos from the days leading up to the children's disappearance, likely to track traffic patterns and identify unusual vehicles in the area. However, the details of these findings remained unclear to him. Despite the limited information, Daniel remained hopeful that the investigation would ultimately lead to answers, and he continued to cooperate with the authorities in the hope of finding Lilly and Jack. Unlike Daniel, the investigation involving Malia Brooks Murray, the mother of the missing children, has remained shrouded in uncertainty as the case continues to unfold. Malia's role began on the morning of May 2nd, 2025, when she called 911 to report that Lilly and Jack had gone missing from their home. According to Daniel Martell, Malia and he were in the bedroom with their 16-month-old daughter Meadow when Lilly entered and exited the room multiple times, and Jack was heard in the kitchen. Soon afterward, the children were no longer heard, and it became apparent they had disappeared. Daniel speculated that the children might have left through the back sliding door, which opens quietly without making a sound. Prior to the disappearance, Daniel confirmed that Malia, along with him, Lilly, and Meadow, was seen on surveillance cameras on the afternoon of May 1st, 2025, near Highland Square Mall in New Glasgow. A colleague of Daniel's also corroborated this, confirming to the RCMP that he saw the family in the parking lot that day. It was also noted that Malia held sole custody of Lilly and Jack, as confirmed by sources familiar with the family's situation. During the investigation, Daniel revealed that Malia underwent a polygraph test. However, he was not informed by the RCMP of the results. He remarked, "I don't know if I can say this, but I will. Yes, she did the test. The RCMP was not allowed to tell me. I asked. No specific details or confirmation about the polygraph results from the RCMP or other sources have been made public, as authorities have kept this information private to protect the integrity of the investigation." Following the children's disappearance, Malia's actions raised further suspicion. Daniel reported that she left their home in Landone Station on May 3, 2025, just one day after the children went missing, and went to stay with her mother, Cindy Murray, in Wentworth, Nova Scotia. She also blocked Daniel on social media and changed her relationship status to single, cutting off communication with him. Daniel expressed his frustration, saying, "I haven't heard from her since May 3rd. She blocked me on social media." Despite this, Malia asked Daniel to provide personal belongings of the family, including the children's stuffed animals. Items such as Lily's white unicorn, Jack's green dinosaur, Meadow's white giraffe, and her own pink bear. Malia's interactions with the media were limited. In an interview with CTV News on May 3, 2025, she expressed appreciation for the extensive search efforts, but also voiced her desire for an Amber Alert to be issued, indicating her growing concern. "I just want to keep hope, but in a mother's mind, you always think the worst," she said. Later, in June 2025, when contacted by the Globe and Mail, Malia declined to comment on the involvement of Child Protective Services with Lilly and Jack prior to their disappearance, saying simply, "No comment." Despite Malia's limited public statements, Daniel urged the public to stop attacking her on social media, expressing concern for her mental health and its potential impact on their daughter, Meadow. He said, "Don't attack Malia because her mental health will affect our daughter." This call for understanding came amid growing public scrutiny, particularly as Malia's silence became more pronounced following the early days of the investigation. In the months leading up to June 2025, it was revealed that Malia and her children had previously been investigated by the Nova Scotia Child Protection Agency a few months before their disappearance. Although no specific details were disclosed, Minister Scott Armstrong confirmed that there was a record regarding the children, but emphasized that the priority remained finding Lilly and Jack. Malia declined to comment on the matter. As of June 2025, Malia's involvement in the investigation remains somewhat ambiguous. The RCMP has not publicly identified her as a primary suspect, nor have they confirmed whether she has been ruled out as a person of interest. However, her participation in the polygraph test, as revealed by Daniel, suggests she remains part of the ongoing investigative process. Daniel has defended her, asserting his belief that she is not involved in the disappearance. "I know Malia has nothing to do with it," he stated, reaffirming his conviction in her innocence. At present, Malia is living with her mother, Cindy Murray, in Wentworth, Nova Scotia, a considerable distance from Landone Station, where the children went missing. She left the area immediately after the disappearance, and communication with Daniel has since ceased. Malia continues to hold sole custody of Lilly and Jack and is currently caring for Meadow, their 16-month-old daughter. Despite the emotional strain of the situation, Malia's decision to leave the area, block Daniel on social media, and limit her communication with the media has raised suspicions. Although Daniel has called for public empathy and understanding, Malia has faced significant public pressure and online speculation regarding her role in the children's disappearance. Daniel has spoken about the toll this has taken on her mental health, stating, "Malia's grief is truly unbearable and made worse by the speculation." The continued silence from Malia, coupled with intense public scrutiny, has only fueled further rumors and assumptions, despite Daniel's pleas for the public to stop attacking her. While Malia has not spoken publicly since June 2025, her actions, such as leaving the area and cutting off communication, have led to widespread speculation about her role in the case. The RCMP continues to analyze hundreds of hours of surveillance footage, including video from May 1, 2025, which shows Malia with Daniel, Lilly, Jack, and Meadow. However, no specific information has been released regarding whether this footage has provided new insights into Malia's behavior. The investigation is still being treated as a missing persons case, with no definitive evidence of foul play or abduction at this stage. Although the RCMP has not ruled out any potential scenarios, it is clear that they continue to consider Malia's role in the disappearance, though they have made no official statements confirming or denying her involvement. Malia's family, including her mother Cindy Murray, has remained cautious in public statements. Cindy expressed hope for the safe return of her grandchildren, saying, "We are just hoping and praying for the best, that our children will come home." However, Malia has not been in contact with Daniel or other family members, such as Lilly and Jack's maternal grandmother, Belinda Gray, who has not seen the children in almost 2 years since Malia moved to Landone Station with Daniel. This ongoing silence and family division have added complexity to the case, leaving many questions unanswered. The investigation has not only focused on Daniel Martell and Malia Brooks Murray, but also on the extended family, as the RCMP continues to piece together the circumstances surrounding Lilly and Jack's disappearance. One key individual involved in the case is Meadow, the 16-month-old daughter of Daniel and Malia. According to Daniel, CPS has prohibited him from seeing Meadow due to the ongoing investigation. He visited the CPS office in Stellarton to request access to his daughter, but was denied. Daniel stated, "Right now, I can't be near Meadow. With the kids missing, CPS wants to control everything tightly." This suggests that CPS is closely monitoring Meadow's well-being in the context of the RCMP investigation. Daniel did not elaborate on whether Meadow has been involved in any investigative activities, such as interviews or examinations, but the CPS supervision indicates she is being carefully watched for her safety. Recently, a photograph emerged showing Daniel spending time with Meadow, though it is unclear whether he regained custody or if it was simply a supervised visit. This suggests a potential positive development in his dealings with CPS and the RCMP. Cindy Murray, Malia's mother and Lilly and Jack's grandmother, has also been involved in the investigation, though her role remains somewhat unclear. Daniel did not specify whether Cindy participated in any interviews or investigative activities. However, other sources suggest Cindy told the media that police asked the family not to speak to the press, implying she may have been approached by the RCMP at some point. According to unverified sources, Cindy is believed to have taken control of Malia's communication activities, particularly with the media and on social media. She is thought to have played a significant role in managing interactions with the public, including preventing journalists from approaching the family's home. There is no confirmation from Daniel as to whether Cindy took a polygraph test or has been considered a suspect, but her contact with law enforcement suggests some level of involvement, albeit undefined. Belinda Gray, the maternal grandmother of Lilly and Jack, was also interviewed by the RCMP, along with her son, Cody Sullivan, the children's biological father. According to Belinda, neither she nor Cody was asked to take a polygraph test, indicating the RCMP did not consider them primary suspects at that stage. Daniel did not provide details about Belinda's interview or her role in the investigation. However, Belinda participated in search efforts in the Landone station area and expressed her grief to the media. This level of involvement and her public emotional response suggest she is deeply affected by the disappearance, though her role remains peripheral. Cody Sullivan was also interviewed by the RCMP. Belinda confirmed that Cody participated in a formal interview, which typically lasted 1 to 2 hours, but he was not asked to take a polygraph test. According to Belinda, Daniel did not offer further details about the content of Cody's interview or whether suspicion surrounded him. Belinda further confirmed that both she and Cody completed the RCMP's investigative process and that no significant evidence linked them to the disappearance. In conclusion, as the RCMP continues its investigation into Lilly and Jack's disappearance, the extended family has experienced varying levels of involvement and scrutiny. Meadows' welfare is being closely monitored by CPS, and while Daniel has had limited access to her, indications suggest the situation may be improving. Cindy Murray and Belinda Gray have been interviewed by the RCMP and have participated in search efforts, though their specific roles remain unclear. Cody Sullivan has also been questioned, but no evidence suggests he is a key figure in the case. As the investigation moves forward, the family's interactions with the RCMP continue to evolve. At this stage, however, the primary focus remains on finding the missing children and uncovering the truth behind their disappearance. The case of Lilly and Jack serves as a stark reminder of the complexities inherent in criminal investigations, particularly when emotions, speculation, and public opinion come into play. Like any law enforcement agency, the RCMP may make decisions that seem controversial or frustrating to the public. They may withhold information, avoid directly addressing rumors, and focus on preserving the integrity of the investigation. While these actions can appear obstructive, it is important to understand they are often necessary to protect the credibility of the investigation and prevent interference or evidence contamination. The ultimate goal is to uncover the truth, and achieving that often requires patience, restraint, and a methodical approach. The lesson is clear. As members of the public, we must maintain a neutral stance. It is easy to become emotionally charged in the face of such tragedy, but it is crucial not to jump to conclusions or cast judgment without all the facts. Instead, we should support the process by respecting the authorities' need for discretion and resisting the urge to speculate. Our personal opinions and emotions should remain just that, personal. Publicly attacking or accusing individuals involved can only undermine the investigation and delay the search for answers. At the end of the day, the priority is the safety and well-being of the 2 missing children. We must continue to hold on to hope, pray for Lilly and Jack's safe return, and trust that those in charge are doing everything possible to bring closure to this heartbreaking situation. The answers will come, but only if we remain patient, respectful, and focused on the truth. Until then, let us keep the children in our hearts and prayers, hoping that one day they will be found and reunited with their loved ones. In the end, the fact that the RCMP has not disclosed much information to the press remains one of the biggest questions we all want answered. The fate of these 2 innocent children still hangs in the balance, with no justice yet in sight. Who will the final verdict belong to? Which perpetrator will ultimately face justice under the law? Children around the world